Friday, we have 35 days of inventory. That is phenomenal, wonderful, doubled from last year. And we have 895 single family homes. Yes, 895 single family homes that are active, that are 475,000 and under. So that's like almost it's exactly 28% of all the available homes. So that's an incredible increase in our numbers. But more than that, it's going to hopefully stop with all these deluge of offers that come in and your buyers get disappointed. So hopefully we can starting to manage that a little bit. 35 days of inventory is wonderful. You listed 139 homes yesterday. Congratulations. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. And of course, you hear me say all the time, people realize how much equity they have and those interest rates reaching up. They say, well, maybe I better make my move now. So I think that has a lot to do with what's going on in our market. And the fact that the interest rate has slowed it down a little bit, it really hasn't slowed down the millennials who make up 43% of our market. So, but first-time home buyers, yes. And not all millennials are first-time home buyers. They've bought a home now. Maybe they're having children. They want a backyard. They want to move from a condo to a home. So all those things play into the dynamics of our wonderful market here in Las Vegas. And people are moving here. I heard on TV today that in Los Angeles, the city of, there are 40,000 homeless people in the city. But wait, in the county, there's 70,000 homeless people. But wait, in California, there's 150,000 homeless people in California. That is just a sad, sad number. And they're finding, a lot of them are mentally challenged. A lot of them are addicted to drugs. And then a lot of them, that's just the way they want to live. So what they're going to do about that, they've tried things. Nothing really seems to work to stop the increase. And people in other parts of the country are moving there because of the weather and because they see that a lot of the homeless people have set up camps and they feel like, oh, I can go and be part of something. So I don't know what California is going to do. I don't see the answer for it. I really don't. And with more and more people coming across the border, there's Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. Hello, Jimmy.
Good morning.
Let's see, here you come. There you are. I was just talking about, I don't know if you heard me, but about the homeless in California. They have, I'll just repeat it. They have 40,000 homeless people in the city of LA. They have 70,000 people in the county, Los Angeles County. And in all of California, they have 150,000 people. And a fellow did a documentary and he said, you have people that are mentally challenged, that are homeless. A lot of them are addicted to narcotics. And a lot of them they don't want to work and they're comfortable. Mm-hmm. And what they're going to do about it, there is no solution. And as people across the country come over to California that are homeless, they're coming there. One of the reasons is because of the communities that have been set up. And they feel, oh, I'm going to go into this community, in whatever beach in California, and I'm going to, be happy the rest of my life. So, what do you think of this? There's no solution was the bottom line of the documentary.
Right. But just a social problem that's gotten worse and going to probably get worse before it gets better.
Absolutely. And it's driving more and more people here. I was watching one show and they did say that one of the reasons why they moved from California is they don't see any end to the homeless problem, but they do see that any solution they take is going to increase their taxes even more.
Wow.
And you heard Tom Ferry yesterday say, if you live in Canada or New York or California and you get a $10,000 commission check, you get $4,300 of that.
Right.
After taxes. So, even I know real estate agents move here. I don't know about your company, if you've gotten any from California, but we've gotten a couple. Mm-hmm. At least I've interviewed a couple. And they have their license in both states.
That's
because
what I was just going to say. They're not giving up their license in the other states. The
it,
ones that we're getting that are out of state, they're keeping their license in the other state. They're going to work here too.
so I just see that I was saying that, yay, we've got 35 days of inventory. We've got 28% of the single family homes are actually 475,000 and under. And that's fantastic. And hopefully that will slow down the craziness with the offers, and we'll have happier buyers and happier buyer agents.
You subscribe to the Home Builder Research newsletter, and I got a copy of it yesterday, and it said that sales, they look at resales, not just MLS. They look outside of MLS too. They do all the resales. They said the resales were down by 3%, but prices were up by like 17%. So even though we might do a deal or two less, the commissions, even if there's commission pressure, when you're 17% average sales price higher, you're going to make more money.
That's a great point. That is a great point. Yeah. And I think, like we said yesterday, the iBuyer platforms, they are increasing their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Open Door this month is number 1 for the first time, pushed Zillow down to number 3, and with phenomenal numbers. And that's, of course, me and my crusade to get people to farm and make relationships with people so that we don't lose. So we don't lose our foothold, if you will, in this industry.
Well, there's going to be some institutional buyers. The Home Builder Research newsletter also said that there was an off-market sale of 110 single-family homes from one investment fund to another. So they said it's another 110 closings of resale closings, and that's 110 houses in one closing. And they said they ranged in price from 250 to 485 or something like that. So they're all across the spectrum. But that was one transaction.
What was the upper limit, Jimmy?
It was like 485 or something. I actually copied it, but it's a newsletter that I know you get.
I think I sent you the new home one earlier in the week, but is this the monthly one?
Yeah. And what you send me is the traffic. You send me the traffic watch, so I know what direction, what trend is.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it, definitely. Well, I don't see Las Vegas slowing down too much. We have more days of inventory, but we have more homes for sale.
Well, and I have a brand new agent that went out the other day, and he said, "What should I do?" I said, "Go hold an open house." He got 7 buyer leads from one open house. He's
goodness.
Off the ground. He's flying high now because he worked rentals for a month and couldn't get one together. And he said, "I'm done with rentals." He said, "What should I do?" I said, "Go hold an open house. Pick a neighborhood that you like and go hold an open house." And of the 7 prospects that he's gotten, I think 2 or 3 of them are right now prospects. They're ready to buy right now.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
And what was the price range of the open house?
I don't know that, but I had another agent that went on kind of a campaign yesterday, and she sent out a bunch of emails, and she got 2 responses, and one was from a tenant whose rent just got raised $600 a month. She said, "I'm buying a house. I'm not doing this again." So she's looking for a house right now too. So people are out looking. Obviously, that's the point.
Yes, absolutely. We're not doing the numbers that we did last year. In May last year, we were selling 137 homes a day. And now month to date, we're selling 122 homes a day, which is a 15 sales swing. But last year was, to me, is always going to be a result of the built up pandemic buyers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely record demand last year. So it's be hard to compete with that.
Yeah. And I have to look back at 2020 because I don't think 2020 was as robust as 2021.
It wasn't, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. You report those numbers consistently.
So anyway, Jimmy, we talked a little bit yesterday about marketing and the foundations for marketing. And I've started doing the $1 Million Listing videos, and I have one to show you today. And I think that one of the things that we're going to talk about later after we see this video is your marketing. Marketing, first of all, you need to establish a reputation. And once you establish a reputation, then perhaps you can establish a brand. And some of the Marc Davison, who is the owner of 1000 Watt, a huge marketing firm, mm-hmm. He says that agents are never going to be a brand. but they need to be a reputation and have a reputation and tell a story. So we're going to talk about that. And it's a 15-minute clip of Marc Davison and Jason Pantana talking about marketing and the difference between, Jimmy Sells Las Vegas and telling a story that establishes yourself with an avatar in mind. And an avatar in mind basically means that you have a niche market. You have, maybe it's the military, but you have a niche market that you're talking to, because you can't market to everybody. But first we're going to watch the $1 Million Home video. And again, I tell everybody, I do this like in 5 minutes. I do it like off the cuff. I don't prepare at all. And I don't recommend that. However, I'm starting though. The thing is, done is better than perfect. I always say that to people. Just start doing. You'll get better. Practice makes better, never perfect, but practice does make better. Right. And so I had some ideas when I was doing this one today, but I didn't employ those ideas. I may try a few things over the weekend. But what I'm doing is I'm going to get a few up there on my YouTube channel and out there boosting on Facebook and putting these in Instagram as well. And then Cant is working with our videographer to perhaps do some just do some overlays, or like click the word bonus, or make a cash register ring, or put music behind it or something. Because once you do that, then you can repeat it, rinse and repeat. So anyway, let's watch this one. And don't laugh. Come on, please. The $1 Million Las Vegas home of the day is located in the Ridges. It's $5,499,000 with 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and 7,238 square feet. It was listed by Gavin Real Estate, and it's been on the market just 22 hours, and it's already had 624 views, and 45 people have saved this. Thank you, Gavin Ernstone of Simply Vegas, for this beautiful listing. As you go down through this video, you'll see that this home is situated on a beautiful views of the golf course. Look at the view from the top. That pool is gorgeous. The home lights up just like a mansion, and it sits on this beautiful fairway. The home has mountain views and golf course views. A rare find with 2 gorgeous master suites, one up and one down. And it has a casita, currently used as a gym. Wait till you see this kitchen. It is stacked with Viking appliances and features a huge center island, rich cabinetry, granite countertops. And this home has a bright open floor plan with large pocketing doors in the great room to allow for seamless indoor-outdoor living. One of my favorite features on these $1 Million homes. The backyard feels like a private resort with a stunning pool, spa, fire features, putting green, fabulous outdoor kitchen, and a covered patio. This is truly an entertainer's dream home with a movie theater, enormous wine cellar, and huge loft upstairs for games. And the secondary bedrooms are all large with ensuite bathrooms and walk-in closets. With 6 bedrooms, this beautiful home is perfect for a large or multi-general family. And as we scroll down through here, you see the beautiful appointments in the primary bathroom, the beautiful TV room. All the amenities are up to date, first class, state of the art. If you want to see this home, click below and I'll be so happy to show it to you, among other $1 Million homes in Las Vegas. Thank you and have a wonderful day. The $1 Million Las Vegas home of the day is Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, I ain't perfect, but at least I try.
Yeah, you're out there.
So yeah, I keep saying to people, you know, when you're doing your pictures, put your remarks to align with your pictures, especially if I don't think Zillow mixes them up. I think Zillow presents the pictures as you present them in the MLS. So I think your pictures should align with your remarks. And that always trips me up because I'm reading the remarks, but I'm looking at the pictures don't match my remarks. So that's something that, you know, I'm going to have to maybe cut and paste the remarks and put them in order of the pictures. That might take a few minutes, but anyway, I'm starting to do this every day. And I'm just saying, everybody else, you can do it too. Why not?
Yep, I appreciate that, because you're going to attract a different audience than someone else.
Yeah. And and create a YouTube channel. It's easy. If you don't know how to do it, GTS, right? Google that stuff. It'll tell you real easy. And there's a application called TubeBuddy. And there's another application called VidIQ, and that will help you with keywords and tags and setting up your descriptions. And it's just an awesome, both. I have both. You don't need both, but you know, I've had TubeBuddy for a long time, and then VidIQ. Or no, I had VidIQ for a long time, and then Tom Ferry said, "Oh, you should also have VidIQ." So, a hold, please, John. This. Anyway, setting up a channel is easy. And I've had like Serena Anderson. She and her lending gal, Jen, they have started doing the YouTube channel and doing just practicing, you know, everything that we say that they should do. And yesterday in class, we saw that Brad McCullum, and he's put himself now in the videos of the house. So that's the next thing. That's the next thing people are going to have to do. Get a videographer, and, you know, and he's sharpened his saw. Believe me, Jimmy, when he first started doing the videos, they were very amateur, but it didn't matter. He still got views. People don't care. They want to see the house. They don't care about you and your amateur style or whatever. So I just tell everybody to do it. Just do it, right?
Well, I know Terry Watson, on one of his presentations, he said, you know, when I started video, it looked like a hostage video. So it was really bad, but he got better and better and better. He's like you said, he's an advocate of video as the medium that you got to use to reach out. You had hired a service, Ogview.
Yes.
Are you using them? Have they performed?
Well, they're setting up my Google business or refining my Google business page. They said I had to get a business LinkedIn page because I just had a personal one. And that's where I'm at that logjam. So I'm hopefully this weekend I'll get that done. So I really like them. I have my own personal person. Apple is her name. And so we have an appointment every couple weeks to make the progress, but it takes some time. And if I had more time to devote, I would probably they'd probably be marketing for me already. So, but I really like everything with them so far. Good. They're really, really good. They tell you exactly what you need to do to get set up. Then they actually help you if you need help. I know how to do a LinkedIn page, so I can do that myself, but I probably should have let them do it. But I have to give them my password or set up a new account. Anyway, I'll do that this weekend. But yes, they're doing it. I love them.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's listen to Marc Davison. Now, Marc Davison, if you don't know, he has marketed for RE/MAX, for many large companies outside of the real estate industry. He's the one that designed or told RE/MAX how to design their website and how to brand. He knew that Dave Liniger, the original founder, what his passion was. His passion was to have companies that were just professionals. In the beginning, you could not join RE/MAX unless you had 2 years experience. And, you know, we took some of his criteria when we built our team. And anyway, and you and I have had talks about that, but let's listen to this because this is really, really good. Here's what you're going to hear. You don't want to say Ruthie sells Las Vegas, Jimmy sells Las Vegas. you need to define your avatar and then speak and tell a story to that avatar. But he says it much better than I do. So I'm going to solo him. And I think I need to turn my mic off first so it doesn't reverberate.
Character and the soul. So I think like all those things should tie together. And the one last piece that I want to add to this is you really need to understand who your customer is. Like who is your primary customer? If you're willing to work with anybody, then you're going to probably alter yourself and your beliefs to make it work for everybody. But if you're really clear who your primary customer is and radiate your thing, you will pick up more of those primaries. And you'll deliver a better service to them.
And you also attract people that want to be that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You do that.
I know.
You do that.
I know.
You do
That's-
that.
Like, but a lot of people, so if you're listening right now, first of all, I'd love comments about this. Because this is a great debate amongst agents and teams and brokerages. Like, well, no, I want to attract everybody.
Yeah.
And my response is, well, then you kind of have to live with what it is you attract.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're like, my ideal client is A, B, C, it's a millennial buyer who's 27 years old, who's got a FICO score of 710, who, you know, wants to get a deal because her parents put her hands on her and, well, we bought a house, we got a deal, but, you know, needs to understand today's market. Like you go super deep. You're like, that's my avatar. Now, how do we serve that person? What are her problems? What are her challenges? And how do we build a system around that? Then you know what? You attract a ton of those people and people that kind of identify like that. The 55-year-old that's like, I want to be 27-year again, right? So I'm going to dress that way and look that way. That's my experience. But I'm curious for the person watching, what's your take? Should we try and attract everybody, or should you have a little more narrow niche?
I think the more narrow your niche is, and the more you continually repeat what you're great at with the people who regard that greatness, the greater you get at what you're great at. Right. But if you keep doing this and that then you're never perfecting yourself.
Yeah.
So like I'd like to say, and I can say this, that because of the way in which we onboard people, we have great, every client is great. We don't have a problem client because we're attracting like-minded because we're all like kind of beating the same drum. And there's a word that we haven't used, which I bet you can talk a lot about, which is community.
Yeah.
If you're a really good brand, if you're a brand,
you'll build a community.
You'll have not just customers or not just clients, but you both have built fantastic communities. I'm trying to build a community around us. We have, I'd say, people that respect us and like us, but I don't know that I've created a community. Now trying to
get back to doing turn on again.
I'm not officially announcing it on your show, but I'm not unofficially saying that we're not going to do it.
You didn't hear it here first.
You didn't. I didn't say anything. But,
I disagree.
Yes.
But it's going to be, we're going to do a turn on, but it's going to be for our community. So if you're a
Yes.
member of the community, you get to go.
Yes.
But like, I think if you're tracking toward building something more, it's quite possible that Glenda's whole business is probably repeat business, recurring business. Of clients that are all similar and are all revolving around the son that she is. Now, how she did it, I don't know her, but just based on what you're saying, my guess is that she's hit all these things, right?
And she's also, as many people have experienced now, as they create more and more content and find their tribe and find their community, you know, they could be all over the world, right? Like I have clients in 29 countries now, right? So like they're not deeply like they can't come see me on a Tuesday, other people maybe in the US, Canada, Mexico can, but they're in it. She's found this, as so many others have, and they get agent referrals. They get like, I need you to find me the, you know, Glenda in Alabama. Find me the Glenda in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
So she represents this.
She's an archetype.
Yeah, she's an archetype.
Yeah, they're like, I want that. I want that kind of person to represent me.
I would also go, if I could go back to your 2007 versus 2009, and then later the evolution of your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I feel like I just totally like tore apart my own channel. Like
I agree with I agree with Mark.
Like, hey, we're doing okay here, Schleppo.
Tim's doing great.
Yeah. First, I agree with Mark that you had defined a groove that was right for the time.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
And you have continually evolved it because like a continuum is an act of balancing. And as forces change, you have to maintain balance.
Yeah.
And that's the nature of marketing. Like this, and I think there's an important sort of contrast here. Like a brand, you should at some point, I agree, get to a set of beliefs that you operate by that are unchanging, unwavering, because they're core to who you are and what you're doing in your business. However, your marketing mix is going to evolve all the time. You should be
Totally true.
you should be
Yeah.
like,
1000%.
and your YouTube, like your
Yeah.
YouTube channel is a marketing channel.
Right.
And of course you went into the playground to test and see what works. And then you aligned it to the anchor of the brand. So it's strategy versus tactics.
Yep.
And so I think I would say to an agent who's earlier on, and this is, I'm asking a question just for my own purposes. Is it okay to do marketing without a brand?
Yes.
Of course it is.
And I think it's required.
Yeah.
I think it's required.
My
yeah, go ahead.
definition
Yeah.
always is marketing is the stuff you do to get people to buy what you sell.
Right.
Branding is the thing you do to get people to believe in your marketing.
Yeah.
And I believe that you cannot learn your brand. I think you can start off, to your point, like you start off with beliefs, like you start off with them, but don't get so married to them in the beginning, because until you get the feedback of the perception of customers and you hear their stories and you see, wow, I really do excel when others don't hear, you're not going to see the opportunity until you get to that point. So I think marketing is that flywheel of continually balancing and trying to find things that work, sell your products, services through video, through YouTube, through whatever. And then in that, I do think it'd be important that you set, maybe it's an annual revisiting of our marketing. How did it work? What worked? What didn't
Right.
work? What did we learn?
Right.
I'm thinking about the beliefs that you were talking about. And I think there's, you can probably trick your brain a little bit into asking a different set of questions to see if you can't really get to it. Like, and it depends on how you're wired, but like if I said, I refuse blank, and then that might trigger somebody to like paint the negative space of what they're against. Because sometimes it's really hard to say, I believe in X, Y, and Z, but it's not as hard to say, I'm totally opposed to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then
good
through
point.
that, find your way into the actual belief.
There have been clients or prospects that have come to us that we have said to them, you're too soon. There's no brand. There's nothing here. So go build a business and do what you're suggesting is just find your way, find where you, there have been less examples of somebody that's come to me at the start, but has such a clear sense of what they stand for and what they are. So there's no right or wrong. There's just what works best for you. So
And I think it reminds me of Start With Why.
Yeah.
And everybody it's a great book. I mean, brilliant book. I'm a huge fan of Simon Sinek's, but I believe it created a lot of business owners who were like, I can't start anything or do anything until I define
Until
my
I
why.
understand. Exactly.
And I'm like,
No,
your
go sell
why
a
doesn't-
house.
It
Go
doesn't
make some
have-
money. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be enormous. It can be whatever you want it to be.
It could be, I was burned in a bad transaction. I want that to never happen again.
Yeah.
Or it was really hard for us to buy a house. Or the agent that sold us a house was completely stupid. If they can do it, I can do it better.
You know, when you think about some of the unicorns that have blew out of real estate over the last 10 years, there's a reason why. It's not just because they were run, like I think of Dot Loop.
Yeah.
Like Austin's an amazing guy. He's an amazing leader, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Austin built Dot Loop based upon an experience and a belief. Remember Michelle Serro?
Of course. I was just talking to the CEO of realtor.com we bought that company. He's the new.
Yeah, but
the
you
new
know
guy
what?
there,
And
yeah.
they buried her swipe app, which is like,
I know.
like they never
And
should
her
have.
doorsteps, the doorsteps experience was beautiful.
So,
I gotta
like,
reach out to Michelle.
These people.
Michelle, if you're listening, this is why I called you.
I don't know that she's listening, but we can text her. But the thing is, like, so many great, like Remax blew out of a belief system that Dave had that like professional real estate agents need a more professional reality.
Right.
And so like, I'm never going to abandon my sense of like, just write something down, write something down, because
What do you
like,
stand for?
if you can look at it and go, you know what, maybe I should not put an ad on a bus stop bench in a shitty part of town. Cause like that will live with you for a long time. Like just, if it keeps you from doing things as opposed to like giving you ideas on what to do, that's still really great.
Okay, I would argue with you that that the bus bench as a primary tactic, thinking you're going to get business from that, is hilarious.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
But when I can take a case study of one of my clients. So they have all of realtor.com Market VIP. They have all of Zillow. We're doing $40,000 to $50,000 a month in Google ads. And we were trying to build such an unpenetrable, fortress that dig the deepest moat possible. And then we're like, we should do billboards. And even though billboards are hard to track and hard to measure, and even with a QR code, you really don't want somebody driving down the street and trying to.
Yeah.
But they're like, they see their name, they see their face, and
brand
they're like, I'm online, offline. So like to me, the bus bench is Andy C saying,
Totally.
you know what, man, I got so Andy did like almost $1 billion in sales last year as like a small team for Intero Real Estate, right? And kills it in his marketplace. There's 2 billboards in town. He took them both. He took the 3 schools in his community, including the elementary and the high school that he went to, and he sponsors everything. Some of those are just become like these almost like brand defensive positions. Like, we're just going to be everywhere because it's so low cost.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I think it's really great for name recognition.
Right.
I think there are 2 ways to play that.
Sure.
You can put your name on a billboard and get name recognition, or you can put a message
Yes.
on a billboard.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. We were asked to help a client come up with ads for the billboards in and around military housing.
Yeah.
And I don't remember all of the concepts I came up with, but one of them was something like, "We'll help you live at ease." And at ease is a military term. That would be and so we'll help you live at ease. And then it had their brand name.
Very clever.
That is.
They rejected that.
What?
Yeah, they rejected that. And they went with their name.
Yeah.
Just, we sell houses and their name.
Well, somebody just got a free idea.
Right.
Okay.
Like versus like when it's PCS season, you know what I mean? Like that's like the military,
Yeah,
like
like-
that's when they, here's your orders. And you go back to your spouse and say, I'm moving in 30 days. We need to figure out how we're going to sell our house and move and blah, 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 like all that stuff. I'm going to give you one that I love. I'm looking at my crew. Do you guys ever see, I think it's off the 35. It says, IHateStevenSinger.com. Do you guys see that billboard? Right. So when I first moved to Dallas, I'm like, who is this Steven Singer? Like, and who's the like horrible person that's like running ads like this, like on
This is the troll deluxe.
Is
Right,
that a
and-
jeweler? Is he a jeweler?
Of course. And then I go to it and it's like, like I hate Steven Singer because I walked in to buy a 1 carat diamond and walked out with a 5. I hate Steven Singer, right? It is so hysterical. But when you see a billboard that's been up that long, it's working,
Yeah.
right?
And it's tied to it's tied to a message
and a story.
So like, I guess the difference is the name sells utility.
Yes.
Like blank Realty sells houses. That's
Right.
utility.
Right.
The We Help You Live at Ease sells a worldview. It sells a belief
Exactly.
system.
Yeah, and I think like both have their merit. They do.
Totally,
I would
yeah.
also argue, I mean, one of the things I talk about with a lot of my clients is I call it connective tissue marketing. It's not the main stuff, but it's like your Google Display Network ads,
Right,
bus benches,
right.
the shopping cart ads, things like
the
that.
TikTok
are just,
that is pinned to the top.
Yeah,
that
just
is a
little
really good
reminders.
message. It's had 1 million views and like, oh, okay, that's who that person is.
it's top of
Yeah.
mind. It's brand reinforcement. So like you should have some major like rocks versus pebbles, major rocks in your marketing, your video strategy, social media, your email list, things like that. And then all the little connective tissue that just
I
reinforces
like
your
that.
brand.
I like that.
And there's also a principle called the frequency illusion, which is a psychology principle. And I'm not a psychologist, but I think it has a lot of application. Basically what it would say is if I get a postcard from an agent, let's say I get it once a month and I've been in a neighborhood, I get it like every month for like a year or two, but that's the only marketing I ever receive from them. That's case A. But if case B is I have a realtor who sends me a postcard, let's say once a quarter, but I see their billboard every time I drive by it. And I also see their ads in the shopping carts or on display network ads or like one other channel. This frequency illusion, it creates an illusion that I may see less of your marketing, but because I see it in a variety of formats, multi-channel, it actually creates an illusion that I'm seeing it more often than I really am. And so with my clients, I work I want to create a web. How do I kind of encircle you with some different forms of marketing? Some are rocks, some are pebbles, but they're all there working together to create this dome around your marketplace where you own it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
All brands do that. All brands, Apple, they all have marketing.
Right.
They're all selling things and trying to sell things, but they also imbue spirit into that other side of it called
which is like
branding.
sparks and gasoline right there. When you can have that think different kind of campaign message, again, that's a high standard to achieve. Not everybody's going to rise up to that level of, I think your live with ease or at ease, excuse me. I did it wrong.
Yeah.
But I think it's brilliant. I don't think it's a requirement.
No, it's not. And we oftentimes will tell a client, you don't need, but we track to that. If there's a campaign that could be birthed out of what we're doing, we want to give that campaign a slogan to rally. See, here's the thing. And this is also gets to psychology, which I too am not a psychologist, but I've studied this like crazy.
Right.
Because branding is all about psychology.
It is.
And it gets to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And you and I, and we've talked about this. But more and more people, so I have met people who are Tom Ferry people, and they kind of walk and talk and sound like you. And so what's happening there? They're seeing a bit of themselves in you.
Yeah.
And so by being part of you, they are allowing that part of themselves to come out more and to grow. And that's making them feel, so that gives them a sense of belonging, being part of you.
Community.
But like growing through you, community. So by growing through you, they're gaining more confidence and self-esteem.
Right.
So this is critical. People will never find self-reflection through like intellect, through intellectual connectivity, through meaning, through reason and logic and features. What people find and look for, they're not thinking about it, but they're drawn to it, are brands that reflect some aspect of themselves. They see themselves in it. So when I look at what we're all wearing or what we're driving, there's reasons why we've made those choices. Sure. Because like when we step out of our aspect of themselves, they see themselves.
So I want to read something from the book, Building a Story Brand. And here's what they just said. Internal problems. By limiting our marketing messages to only external problems, we neglect a principle that is costing us thousands and potentially millions of dollars. That principle is this. Companies tend to sell solutions to external problems, but people buy solutions to internal problems. And customers aren't looking for another hero. They're looking for guidance. And if you are appealing to what people need internally versus the external house, and you put up marketing that says, let me help you live at ease, around Nellis or whatever, that's sending a message and telling a story versus Ruthie and Jimmy sell real estate in Las Vegas, right?
Right.
And you've read the book.
Yep. He talks about internal problems, external problems, and philosophical problems. There's a third leg to that, and so it's a lot of work. This whole thing is a lot of work to be in charge of your marketing, to be in charge of your customer service, to be in charge of your finances. I mean, you put up an Excel spreadsheet the other day in the CEO class, and just to build that spreadsheet, that's a ton of work.
Yes, it took years to perfect it, but it works. and to that point, people get in this business and then they think they're gonna, start making money right away. And in today's world with video and where video is going, and where competitive agents are embracing it, it's going to make this business harder for the person who just wants to jump in and maybe think they're going to make $100,000 or $200,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
This video is a big thing.
I have this new agent doing open houses, and I wonder if I went into an open house once where this guy was very, very professional with his open house, and he had a camera on a table when you walked in there. So he knew who was coming in the open house. If you end up buying that house and you said, you know what, here's a video of you the first time you ever saw this house, when you walked in my open house, how powerful would that be? I mean, they would show all their friends that thing.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And they did mention, you've got to build a community and the community is just like your friends. It's people that want to know, like, and trust you, and they know you and they embrace what you're saying and they want to do business with you.
Mm-hmm.
They can buy a house from anybody. They can buy a house from Zillow. They can buy a house from Open Door.
Well, I one last commercial, and I will tell you, Colette Smith bought a website from you yesterday or day before. she is so jazzed about this website, about all the stuff there. She sent some of her clients the website and said, "Give me your thoughts on this," and they can't believe all the stuff that's on there either. So she's like really excited because she had a website before. It just wasn't like your website.
Yeah.
So she's really jazzed about it.
And we niched it.
Oh, I didn't know you. I didn't know
we
that.
niched it to Las Vegas.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, we have 55 videos that cost in excess of $500 a piece. Count the dollars, you know, and it took a year to develop it. And 2 people from Berkeley we hired and housed here to do it. And I hired my copywriter friend from Atlanta to repurpose a lot of the, to make some of the long articles, shorten them, you know, so that they punched better. I mean, we put so much thought and effort into that, and it continues to live and breathe. And we continue to update it. We're just about now, we're getting ready to add some more videos and pages on some of the newer Summerlin communities. And then we're going to go do some of the newer Green Valley communities. But we're in constant motion with it. And most of these website companies don't do it. They say, here, you can create your own content, which we let you do that too. However, you know, we provide content daily.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for the plug.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You deserved it.
Well, Jimmy, do you have any great plans for this weekend?
I'm going to Disney tomorrow. I'll be gone for a week. So you won't see me for a week. I'll be gone. I leave Saturday at 11 and I come back Saturday at 10 o'clock at night. So I'll be gone for a week to Disney World.
Well, take some videos.
Okay. All right. I'll take my phone with me and take some videos.
Take some videos. I'll put them together and I'll create you a Jimmy Goes to Disney video.
Well, I'll have my whole family there, so that'll be a good idea.
Yeah,
Thanks.
right. It'll be memorable.
Okay. I'll do that.
Y'all have a fantastic weekend. I'm taking Monday off.
Good.
Yeah, we're going to perfect our $1 million video stories. And I've got my LinkedIn business page to do for Agent Formula. So busy weekend for me. I'll be working, but I won't be live till Tuesday.
All right.
And Jimmy, you have a wonderful time. Give us some likes and loves, everybody. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the reminder button so that when we go live, you get reminded. And Jimmy, thank you so much for joining me twice this week.
Hey.
Hey.